day 4, maybe day 4 or 5, but not working on it totally. But I worked on the kitchen. I have a kitchen project I worked on that for a couple days. I'm gonna try to get this stuff put together. I have to make a couple of cabinets, and I've got more work to do on the kitchen. So this one, I have most of them cut pretty good. They were pretty consistent, but this one I think it didn't stay flat. It kind of tipped up. So you can see here it cut really thin, and that wasn't going to work. So I just glued some pieces back on, and I'm going to recut this. So I just planed that just so it sit flat, but luckily I left the same setup here. Yeah, that's better. These should all be consistent. Yeah. Nice tight fit now. Cut them all to this length. What I gotta do is figure out what side I want out, and then they'll all be cut at this at a miter. I could set something up at the miter saw. Okay, so 45 degrees, 1 1/16 long. What's good about leaving things long, get this set where I want, and then I'm just gonna clamp a block on here, and that's about to cut all of them. Okay, let's see if that's right. It's a little bit long. And I can cut them a hair short too, that way they fit. Okay, let's try that. Still a little long, it looks like. All right, the miters. I oriented all these what I thought the top was, the way they look. I didn't cut this on the dado or anything, so I got to cut. My mortise is actually only 1 7/8, and this is 2 1/16. So I set up the bandsaw, and I marked all these on top. So I'm just gonna make that cut right now. Oh boy. Oh boy, I am awesome at this. Okay, so I set up a stop here so it doesn't cut too far. Right about there. We'll go ahead and try that. I marked the top, but we're cutting the bottoms. Shoulder will cover our mortise. Okay, that's all those cut. I'm using this gent saw because it's got such a fine kerf. A bit of wax, a beeswax candle works pretty good. I'm just gonna do that. Pare it just really quickly. Just cleaned it up like that. You kind of overcut that a little, so I have to flush the top, but that's it's a pretty nice fit. Plenty of tenon. That should work. Probably should have cut that a little more precisely, because now I have to line up the top. See, there's a gap down there. Since I cut those all the same, I could take a little cut off each one of these just to make it right. A tiny little 1/8 inch. Not gonna matter, but anyway, should have checked that better. Same old story. Here we go. Now, line this up there. Go backwards just to make a mark. Cut that away. just clean that up with a knife. That pine just wants to crush. This is a little bit rustic table anyway, so it doesn't have to be crazy precise. It's kind of like practice. It's like practice anyway. Should have, all the work and time, should have probably used nicer wood, but I thought this wood would be nice. It's really just, it was super rough pine, and you know, it doesn't, like, it's nice. It smells a little different than construction wood. You know, it was like just a big white pine tree. I have some more of this wood. So now I'm going to do the tapers, which should be cut on the inside. So if I was to mark inside, so I got serious now. I got my apron on. Got the hot glue fired up. This is where I'm at. Square that down. Double check that this is lined up. I could go a hair less because I'll have to clean it up. A hair less, and then this mark. So that's good. Make sure it's sitting flat. Pretty nice. Go ahead and put a little bit there. You press it in. And that should be, you know, I mean, you could run screws in and stuff, but, you know, really going to hold, like I could put a little clamp, you're going to hold it down, so it's like this should be plenty strong for that. So there's that one. Then this one, I'm leaving a hair just to, you know, make sure I got enough to clean up. Put some more hot glue right there. And just work that in. Press it down. For a few seconds. That should be fine too. Put it right there. And then like that. And then that'll dry. That's my jig. Now, see, these, they're gonna be, man, I mean, they're on there, you know. They're on there nice and strong. Of course, you could probably hit it off, but what I'll do, I'll just add a little bead there. This is probably not even necessary. And then this one. And then a little bit right there. That'll be fine. So there's my jig. I got this board set up to where the table saw blade is. And I could hold that, but I don't like to put my fingers too close to the blade. So I will get a couple of screw clamps. I've got a couple of these screw clamps. I don't really need it back here, I don't think. So you would just drop a pre-drill so it doesn't break out. A little 1 5/8 drywall screws. You know, really 2 is probably enough for this. So this whole thing is hinging on hot glue. Hot glue. Hot glue. That's what I call it. Hot glue. I mean, I'm not a hot glue fanatic or anything, but definitely been working. Since I have so much blade exposed, that's why it's nice to have like these clamps. It's nice and tight. So then I can operate, you know, over here. I could even put like a handle right here. So hopefully this all works without. We'll put a hot glue a hot glue handle, something like this. But that stuff, like, is pretty strong. I mean, it's on there. It's super solid. So, you know, you really have to take a hammer to it. So now I got a handle, and there we go. I'm cutting, all the cuts will be to the mortises, and now I got to do is cut them. Let's go ahead and cut one. I just had to recalibrate my saw. I don't know why. This was out of 90. When kind of noticed it when I was ripping stuff, and then when I flipped it, it was slightly off. That's kind of weird. Maybe it got bumped, but it was out of 90, so I set the stops so that it would stop at 90, and also check the 45. So these stops here, you can go in. When you set it to 90, if you go in, it'll let it go more. If you back it out, it'll stop it. So those are the stops. The run on the right is for 90 degrees, and the left is for 45. This saw tilts towards the fence. Okay, there it is. Looks pretty good. I had to, didn't think about when I turned it, you know, I had to add a shim back to hold it, but that's fine. All right, well, there's one. Go ahead and run all these. So I got to remember that the mortise is up here, because otherwise it would be wrong. Alright, that's what it's going to look like. It seems to be nice and square and stuff. These legs should be rigid once it's all put together, but that's kind of cool. Not bad, not bad. Yeah, so I did a quick dry fit. I'm glad I did, because like this one has some stuff in the corner, so and this one, check those, but these are nice. The miter's all the way in, so yeah, pretty cool. It took a lot more than I thought to get here, but that's okay, because it is good learning. You know, this whole thing, this is really good practice. Learning, I could make larger. I'm thinking about making some larger tables. I'm trying to figure out if I could sell anything around my area. I haven't had very good luck selling anything, really. But that's a different story. All right. Well, I'm going to try to get these finished up today. I've already finished them, kind of. One coat. They're pretty nice. Pretty nice and buttery smooth. What I'm going to do is I'm just cutting a biscuit slot and using a metal tab, kind of like a table. These are not official ones. There's something I had and I just bent them so they kind of sit flat. So they'll just let the top move. It shouldn't move much. So I put one in the middle because I kind of want that to pull it down. It's got a little bit of a bow to them. And then one on the ends. But so four per. And this was cutting a little bit too deep. I didn't like it. It was only probably less than a 1/4 inch on the outside, so not a huge big deal. But I got this one now cutting about halfway through. I just added a stick of wood to the biscuit thing here, so it'd only go in that far, about 3/8. I got that. So just got to cut these real quick. Finish on these. I used shellac, and I had thinned it by about 10% in the can, and I don't know, this wood was really dry, and that stuff works way better when you thin it down a bit, but it soaked in. It just soaked in super nice. It ate up quite a bit. It took like this much out of my can, and but the first coat, the second coat gets way more tricky on the shellac, but the first coat, like, it soaked it in real nice, and then it's just pretty easy to put on. So that first coat just worked great, and this wood just sucked it up. And then, so this is the next day. I did that yesterday, and now I just took a 220 sanding sponge and just went over everything, and they're just super nice and real smooth and everything. So I don't really want to mess with putting another coat on. I could put, so just glide it over everything, but it's just buttery smooth. I have some nice furniture wax. So anyway, long story short, I'm going to put these together, and then, think about whatever finish. But they're basically about done. So these tops, I left this kind of like a live edge, a little bit of bark there. So that's the top. Okay, I'll just go ahead and cut these in really quick. I got marks on there, centered. Okay, I've got the slots cut now, and I found some 5/8 panhead screws. I think those will work real nice. All I have to do is figure out which one. Doesn't probably matter that much, but kind of match whatever top to each one. So this is the first one. This is what it's going to look like. I think they're neat little, they're lightweight. I mean, potentially these could have been longer for one thing, but that's why I try to get 2 out of what material I was using. Also, it could have a drawer, but these are pretty lightweight. So I think they're cool though. They're kind of like rustic, lightweight too. They're nice and lightweight, but they're strong. Just kind of neat look. So this one has 2 live edge parts, and this one has 1. And then I'm going to flip them upside down, and this is where I'm going to center it all. So it should be like 1.25 inch overhang. Something like that. Okay. I'm not sure. This one's got extra knot here. I'm not sure that it matters that much. I'll just see if I like one better than the other. So that one's got, this one, the color kind of matches. Like, it's probably okay. Yeah. Doesn't really make much of a difference, probably. This one's darker. Maybe I'll try switching them, see how that looks. Yeah, maybe a little contrast, because like I said, this one's a little darker with all the knots. This frame seems a little lighter. So, try to even them out. It's hard telling. Yeah, I think that's fine. I'll go ahead and do that. So what I'm gonna do, let's see. One side is also the front. This is kind of the front. because of this. So, you know, decisions. And it's probably fine the way I had it. Who knows? So I'll flip this over, and then I'll flip this over the same way. Okay. Yeah, so all we're doing is centering this nicely right on. It's right on now. Put some little marks, maybe. I don't really want to mark it up too much. It's sitting pretty nice right there. Yeah, I will mark this a little bit. Right on the corner. That way, if anyone moves anything, if anything changes in the future, they'll be able to line it back up. Oh, maybe I'll put an F. All right. Okay. Don't really like to mark that up, but all I gotta do is throw those in there. Right in the center of the. This is not official things. I just thought this would be easier than making wood ones. Let's see. Stick it all the way in there, maybe? Close. Something like that. These screws should be perfect length because they're only 5/8. Plus they're going to be held up. And I'm not going to pre-drill these because this pine should just, it's so soft that just crush in there. Crushing. I don't think it's moved at all. I'm just bringing it back from touching the sides. It's not all the way in there. It's gonna fall again. Oh yeah. Magnetic tips. That's what you need. That, and put it right in the middle. It's got decent amount of torque. That's gonna hold it pretty nice. Don't believe it's moved at all. This one's right by a seam, but still no pre-drill. Definitely don't want to split it though. Yeah. Oh, that's nice. Okay, this one. Tell me. And like I said, you could bottom those out, but so that's going to hold it. It's going to hold it very securely. And if you really wanted to tighten it down, you could, but it's already got quite a bit of torque on it, so I'm happy with that. I'll do the other one. So there it is. Now it's attached. It is heavier now. Okay, there's one. Now this one, do the same thing. Check out front back. I got wormholes in there. We got all kinds of stuff. There it is. And the nice thing about these is that, like I said, this had a slight bit of bow, so it pulled it down nice. Should be able to move. It's not really gonna, hopefully it's not gonna move too much anyway, but that's about it. 2 end tables. I mean, somebody could use them. They're kind of cool, kind of just good practice. Fun to make. And they're pine, which is nice. My garage floor is uneven, but the feet did come out pretty nice. So, but these would be kind of cool for just like almost like a minimalistic furniture setup. I think just real simple. They're lightweight. You can move them around. And they're also rough. They had wormholes all through this. Wormholes, or I don't know if it's woodworm or it's like actually like a beetle looking. There was actually some bugs like that died that were still in there. It's crazy in the holes. But so it's got like, you know, these holes, cavities running through it. So they're a little heavier now. But now, like I said, you can sell those things for $200, even though it took a week. But if you ran a bunch of parts, if you made a whole bunch of parts at the same time and cut them all, you know, you could assemble them, put them together quicker. But then it's like the finishing. So this is why woodworking can be tricky to try to make money at in some, you know, as far as like stuff like this goes. But anyway, pretty cool. So I'm going to, I think I'm just going to wax them at this point, and then they'll be done. So, okay, I've got some of this Daddy Vans, not sponsored. This stuff works pretty good though. Beeswax and lavender furniture polish. It actually seems to last a long time. Don't know if I need to do the whole thing, but of course I probably will. Get some of this on here and just start slathering it on. It will make it look nice, shiny, or not too shiny, but gives it a very nice, nice look to it and nice feel also. So I'll put it on generously and then buff it out. That pine is just, I think it's super dry. I don't know. I didn't really check the moisture content, but I don't think I need to do the inside part. It's already got a coat of finish on everything, so